All right, FightHype.com here with the youngest super middleweight champion of all time, two-time super middleweight champion, reigning, defending WBC super middleweight champion, David Benavidez. David, how you doing, man? How's it been during quarantine?
I'm doing good, man. I just been in the gym training, just waiting for the fight day to come up. So, I'm very excited, to come back. I think the fight's getting closer. I don't know exactly what day, but I think it might be in August. So, so we're preparing right now. So I'm very excited, man. Very excited to come back and get a fight.
When you come back, is that still going to be with Yildirim, or I know he's had some visa problems? Who looks like?
The thing about Yildirim is that I was supposed to fight April 14th, and he had got hurt. So we brought in Romer Angulo.
That's right.
So the contract was already signed with him, you know what I mean? So I feel like, that's the person I was supposed to fight. That's the person that stepped up when Yildirim wasn't hurt. When Yildirim was hurt. So, it's only fair to give him the opportunity, too. He's a solid fighter. He's coming off a victory from Anthony Sims. So, I feel like it's going to be a good fight.
Right, Romero Alexis Angulo, right?
Yeah.
And Anthony Sims, he was undefeated and fighting on DAZN and making some noise. So that's a big win for him coming up. What do you think about this fight? Do you think it's tougher than Yildirim was going to be?
I feel like they both have the same style. They're both pressure fighters, So the game plan will be a very similar, to if it was Yildirim. But I feel like Romer Angulo is a little bit stronger. So the game plan continues. I'm looking for a knockout as I do in all my fights. I want to give the fans a crowd-pleasing performance, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Well, talking about crowd-pleasing performance, it's rare that an exciting fighter turns out to be a great fighter, right? Because exciting means you taking punches, not just landing them. Do you think do you want to be, and do you think you're becoming one of the rare fighters that's a great fighter, but also a great action fighter?
I feel like that's what type of style I have, and I feel like that's why people want to see me all the time, because I have a crowd pleasing style. But the thing about me is I don't really take too much punches. I'm always there in the pocket, but I do just enough to deflect the shots. I feel like my defense is very underrated, but it's fine. But as long as the people want to see me over and over again, I feel like every time I fight, a lot of people get excited. And I'm very grateful for all the fans I have.
And I want to get back to that later on about your defense, and that it is you do have a good defense, and a little later on is do you think people are losing sight of the fact that, because we talk about all these fantastic young fighters, Haney, Shakur Stevenson just fought last night, Teofimo, Ryan Garcia. Do you think people are forgetting that that's your era?
I think so. I think it's because I almost have, 8 years professional already. I feel like people are so used to seeing me that they don't think I'm 23 years old. I started so young, so I feel like I kind of get left out. Every time the discussion of all these young great fighters, I kind of get left out. But it doesn't matter to me, man. I feel like I just been in the game and I've solidified my position, and I just now I'm just among the best, and that's all I really want to be. I don't want to be, in age or nothing like that. I just want to be considered one of the best in the sport, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now.
So in a way, is it almost a compliment from the people that it's like, oh, this guy's been around for a while?
I just let people think whatever they want to think. As long as if they got something good to say about me, great. If they got something bad to say about me, then, I really don't care. I'm going to do my job at the end of the day, and I feel like I'm getting closer to my dreams, just fighting the best out of the best, I feel like I need to take care of this fight first, and then maybe, Canelo, who wants to give me an opportunity, I'll be all for Canelo, or I feel like the fight I would want more than that one is Caleb Plant. Because that's a big rivalry between me and him, and we really don't like each other. So that's a bad blood fight right there. But if it's not Caleb Plant, there's Billy Joe Saunders, Callum Smith. There's all these great fights to be made at 168, and I feel like I'm in a great position right now to make all of them happen.
That Caleb Plant fight is a great fight. It's awesome that you want it just as bad, if not more, than a Canelo fight. Because a lot of fighters, it's like they just want the big money fight the most. That's it. But what do you think about Caleb when he's asked about fighting you? One of the things he said is one of the reasons I'll beat David is work ethic. that he has more dedication to the sport. What do you say to that, David?
I mean, he can say whatever he wants to say, man. At the end of the day, I believe he's a little guy and he belongs at 160. Nobody knows how hard I work. I don't brag about my work ethic. I don't say, this and that. At the end of the day, I do my work in the gym, and I'm training my ass off every day, every single day, 3 times a day. You know what I mean? So I know what type of work ethic I have. So if that's what he's trying to brag about, that's why he's gonna beat me. He doesn't even know what's going on. But I feel like I want to fight that guy because I want to punish him and I want to make an example out of him. And then that's exactly what I'm gonna do. He's a good counter fighter. He boxes a lot, but he's never fought with somebody with the punch output like me, pressure like me, with the jab like me, body shots like me. He fought Uzcategui, and I give it to him. The first rounds are good rounds, but as Uzcategui found his pressure in the middle rounds and the late rounds, Caleb Plant kind of looked lost. You know what I mean? And that's what I do from the beginning to the end of the bell, or beginning to the last round. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a good fight, of course. I'm not saying it's gonna be a landslide. Caleb Plant is a good fighter, but I want to make the great fighters look like they're nothing when I get in the ring with them. So I'm very excited, to when I get him in the ring. So, and then of course it's gonna be a crowd pleasing fight. So I'm just very excited. I'm waiting for the opportunity.
How would you deal with what he does, though? What he does best, his speed, his skills, movement. Do you think it's a fight you would have to maybe even come from behind in the second half of the fight, or
maybe possibly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably he starts off really fast, but I feel like his gas tank, it fades out at the end. But that's what. I just have to be in the ring to figure him out. He's gonna be boxing a lot. So that means I have to do a lot of body shots. A lot of counter punching and a lot of jabs. There's gonna be a lot of tricks. A lot of tricks that I can't give away right now. But we have a good game plan for him.
Is it hard to cut off the ring against a guy that fights well with movement like that?
But I've been around so much fighters. I'm 23 years old. I've been boxing for 20 years already. I've seen every single style possible. You know what I mean? So it's just putting a great game plan together. Being very conditioned. Being ready for him to move around the ring, and being ready for me ready to cut the ring and follow all 12 rounds. And then we'll just take it from there. I know I could beat him. I know I can knock him out. You know what I mean? So we're just waiting for the fight. And what I don't like too, he tells everybody, he says everything that he's like, I'm turning down the fight, this and that, sign the contract. I've never got no offer. Never. I've never got no offer from nobody, you know what I mean? So for them to say that, it's kind of like I just laugh it off. It's me saying I don't want to fight him. I've never got a fight offer. So how do I not want to fight him, that's what that dude is, man. He just goes on the internet, talks a lot of shit, but that's his style, that's what so I don't really let him get under my skin, At the end of the day, we both know what happened. We both know that there hasn't been no offer, so I'm not even gonna beat myself up about that, trying to prove myself.
When do you think that fight's gonna happen? Maybe the fight after this return fight?
Yeah, I'm gonna push for that fight next year. Maybe earlier, maybe whenever after this fight, I want that's the fight I want. I feel like I'm about to be 24, so I'm gonna be 24 in December. So I feel like I'm in a great position in my life right now. I think I'm kind of getting my man strength right now. I haven't peaked, obviously, but I feel stronger than ever in the gym right now. So I feel like, it's time. All the great champions at 24, they're fighting. De La Hoya, Tito Trinidad, Vargas. They're fighting great fighters. So I just want to follow in their footsteps. It's that you never know you're ready until you're in there. So I feel like I'm extremely confident right now in my tools. So I feel like I'm ready for anything.
Yeah, you're 5 years younger than him, and it's funny. You're mentioning I'm about to be 24. It's time. I remember we talked to Morales the night before Pacquiao Thurman, Eric Morales, and he was saying, "What's with these guys?" He said, Thurman's about to be 30, and he's not a Hall of Famer yet. He said, when I was his age, it was all padding. It was all icing on the cake. By the time he was explaining, by the time I was 25, 26, I was already a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it kind of sounds like that's what,
that's the way I want my career to take. I feel like, you see Gervonta Davis, man, he, was he 25 right now or 26?
Yeah.
But he already had an amazing career. I feel like, that's kind of, but he took a step up like at 23, 24. So I feel like that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? I don't want to wait no more. You know, I want these big fights. I don't want to wait until I'm 27, 28. You know what I mean? I don't want to fight nobodies and then get a big fight while I'm 28. You know, I feel like that's too late. I want everything. You know, I want it, but I want all this whole thing, this COVID thing to clear. You know, because I feel like these fights deserve crowds.
Yeah.
You know, me and Caleb Plant deserve crowds. Me and Canelo, if we ever do it, it deserves a crowd to be there, you know? So I feel like, you know, we'll just wait. Hopefully everything gets better, you know, in the next year, and we'll see we'll take things from there.
Would this be the most personal fight of your life, you and Caleb? In the ring, you know?
I would say, you know, hands down, I would say it's the most personal life. You know, I feel like a lot of people say don't let the emotions get to you, but sometimes you got to let the emotions, you know, motivate you. You know, I mean, obviously I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to go in there just swinging, you know, just trying to knock this guy out, you know, but every time I throw a hard shot, there's going to be a lot of emotions into it, you know, but I'm going to follow the game plan like I always follow, and then when it's time to take them out, I'm going to take them out.
Well, we were talking defense earlier. It's like that emotion. It always shows in the ring. When you fought Darrell, you're like licking the blood off your gloves and smiling out. You put your hands down a few times. Is that stuff you're gonna have to not do against Caleb?
Yeah, I have to be a little bit more disciplined. You know, the thing about that fight, that everybody, like, you know, I was still getting a feel for myself again because I had been suspended a whole year. I haven't fought. I didn't really need to do nothing. I did everything I wanted to do. So when I got into in the ring with a great champion, a great boxer like that, you know, it took me a couple rounds to adjust and remember the fights I'd been through before. You know, just how to take somebody out. But even that guy too, man, it just kind of makes me laugh too. You know, he's saying he needs a rematch, this and that. Only because it was a cut, that's why I got stopped. Clearly, you could see the cut was a big factor. But I feel like I'm a young veteran. I took advantage of that. You know, he couldn't see I was going to the body, the head, cutting the ring. There was one round that he actually ran away from me in the middle of the ring. You know, he literally ran from one corner to another. You know what I mean? So, and then, you know, I was just putting a beating on him. You know, I'm tired of all these old guys, man. I'm tired of all these old guys talking shit, man. It's time for me to come up, you know, and just shut everybody up. I'm tired of everybody saying this and that. He's not ready, this and that. I'm just sick of hearing it.
Well, one of the guys Anthony was talking to wasn't an old guy. It was a prime guy. It was Jermall Charlo.
Yeah.
You like that fight? You want that fight?
That would be a great fight for me. Like I said, man, I want to get all the best fights I could possibly get. You know, because I feel like, you know, resume by the time you retire, that has to be solidified too. You know, like De La Hoya, Trinidad, all these dudes had the top fighters in their resume, you know. And at the end of the day, if I want to retire and I want to be one of the greatest of my era, I have to fight all these guys. You know, so whoever it is, I don't care who it is, I'll fight anybody.
Who do you think would be a more dangerous fight, Charlo or Plant right now?
I think Charlo might be a little bit more dangerous fight. You know, he has a lot of experience. You know, I feel like he has a little bit more power. Honestly, I feel like Caleb Plant belongs at 160. You don't belong at 168. You know what I mean?
Or is it?
He's fought such weak opposition. You know who he fought? He fought Mike Lee after he won the belt, and then he fought Fighting Boots after that fight. So they gave him two, you know, extremely weak opponents. You know, they should have given him at least the top 10. You know what I mean? So that's why, you know. But, you know, they do whatever they do. But I feel like Charlo might be the harder opponent. But, you know, I feel like I'll beat Charlo, too. It don't matter who it is. You know, I'll rise to the occasion always. I always prevail.
Is it stylistically maybe more of your kind of fight, though, with Charlo than it is with Plant?
I feel like it would be a way more exciting fight with me and Charlo because, you know, we'll both be there looking for the knockout. You know, and it'll be an extremely fan-favorite fight, you know. But, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter, man. Everybody who wants to fight with me, you know, I'll take a fight, you know. Just don't be talking no bullshit saying that they offered that. I'm ducking everybody when I don't even get no contract or I don't get no fight offer. You certainly don't be doing that.
Do you think Charlo would be, like you're talking about Caleb, you don't feel he's a real 68. Do you think Charlo, if he moved up to 68, would be a real...
Maybe, I think he wasn't... He was having a hard time at 54. I think he's a true 60-pounder, you know, but he's a big guy. He's a power puncher, so I think he'll still be good at 68. But, you know, we're ready for anything. It don't matter to me. I want to fight the best out of the best, and I'm going to beat the best out of the best.
You know, back with Caleb, though, you think if it's up to you, because it's kind of up to you if you win the fight, right? So if you win the fight, would you want to see you guys like patch it up and?
No, never. Nah, never. They can just stay in the ring, you know. I won't, you know, look for no problems outside, but if he wants to, I'll look for problems too. But there's been too much stuff there, you know. Too much stuff that happens, and you know, you really can't do that. You know, in some cases.
You feel like that fight makes a star? You know, you guys are both
Yeah. I feel like it. I feel like that takes me to the next level, and I feel like. And also, too, that's why I want to fight these guys. You know, I can't get to the next level unless I fight the best of the best. You know, if I beat Caleb Plant, if I knock him out, I feel like I become a superstar in that fight, which I will do. You know, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I
mean, it's not – what do you think about, you know, these rivalries? They happen organically in boxing. Before you know it, these two guys, they just – there's something between them. Then they have 2 or 3 fights.
Yeah.
Any chance that you know, what if that were to happen with you and Caleb?
I mean, I'm down for whatever, man. You know, if we could get 2-3 good fights out there, you know, then I'm all for it. You know, I feel like boxing needs this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like just like in what was it, Morales Barrera?
They hated each other.
Oh, they hated each other. Those dudes hated each other. I think freaking Barrera hit Morales in one of the press conferences. Man, everybody wanted to see it, and it became one of the greatest, you know, rivalries out of boxing history. You know, those are probably the 3 best fights I've ever seen out of, you know, of 2 small guys. So, you know, I feel like this is, you know, we need that. You know, I feel like boxing needs that, you know, right now. You know, I feel like we can make it happen. So if it's good for the sport, you know, I'm all for it.